Ask most baseball fans who the best player in the sport is having this season, and you will get one answer almost every time. Shohei Ohtani. He leads the MVP betting markets. He is hitting for power at a historic clip, and the case for him barely needs explaining, since it shows up in nearly every highlight reel and every nightly recap across the league. But quietly, sitting at the top of the one stat specifically designed to measure total value across every part of the game, is a different name entirely, and his own numbers do not obviously explain why he is there. That name is Pete Crow-Armstrong, and his stat line genuinely does not add up the way an MVP caliber season is supposed to. For most of baseball history, the MVP conversation has followed a simple, familiar script, repeated almost every single season without much variation. Look at batting average, look at home runs, look at RBI. Whoever tops those categories usually leads the conversation, because those are the numbers that have always shown up in headlines, on the back of baseball cards, and in the graphics broadcasters flash across the screen during every big at-bat. That approach still mostly works, which is part of why Ohtani so easily dominates the discussion this season, and why almost nobody outside the analytics community is asking who else might genuinely belong in that same conversation. Crow-Armstrong is hitting .287 with 19 home runs and 49 runs batted in this season. Those are solid numbers for a 24-year-old center fielder, the kind of season that would earn plenty of respect without ever forcing its way into an MVP debate on its own merits. They are not the kind of numbers that usually put a player at the very top of the league in overall value. His WRC+, the stat that measures overall offensive production adjusted for league average, sits at 150, tied for 10th among qualified hitters. 10th is good. 10th is not a number that headlines an MVP campaign on its own, and it certainly does not explain a player sitting alone at the very top of the entire league. And yet, entering this week, Crow-Armstrong leads all of Major League Baseball in fWAR, the version of wins above replacement calculated by FanGraphs. Not just among center fielders, not just among Cubs hitters. The entire league, ahead of every single player whose name would come up first in a casual conversation about the sport's best hitters. At first glance, that almost feels impossible. The player leading all of baseball in overall value is supposed to be leading the league in the offensive categories everyone recognizes immediately. That is how MVP races have worked for generations. So when those names do not match, the instinct is to question the statistic itself. But this is exactly the kind of player WAR was built to recognize. Not someone with the loudest batting line, but someone creating value in every corner of the game, even when most of it never makes the highlight reel. That is the crack in the story that most box scores never show you. If you enjoy watching one metric completely rewrite who the best player in baseball actually is, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. So the real question becomes how a player who is not the best hitter in baseball, not even the best hitter on the leaderboard by WRC+, ends up as the single most valuable player in the sport by the one metric built specifically to answer that exact question across every phase of the game at once. The answer is sitting in the parts of the game a batting average will never capture, no matter how closely you study it. And once you look beyond the batter's box, the leaderboard suddenly starts making a lot more sense. Start with defense. Crow-Armstrong currently ranks third in all of baseball in outs above average, the Statcast metric that tracks how many outs a fielder creates or costs his team compared to an average defender at the position. Only 2 players in the entire league have been better with the glove this season. His arm value sits in the 99th percentile league-wide, meaning almost no outfielder in baseball is doing more damage to opposing base runners with a single throw, the kind of value that never shows up as a counting stat anywhere near a box score. This is not a good defender who also hits reasonably well. This is one of the very best defensive players in the sport, full stop, playing a demanding position every single day, night after night, in a way that quietly saves runs his own offense never has to make up for. Then add the base running. This season, Crow-Armstrong became one of the very few players in baseball to reach 20 home runs and 20 stolen bases, doing it earlier than almost anyone else in the league. A milestone that immediately puts him in rare company among players who combine power and speed at an elite level. That combination alone tells you he is doing damage in two completely different phases of the game that a simple batting line does not separate out. This is where WAR starts doing something most traditional statistics never could. It takes the stolen bases, the extra 90 feet, and every close play Crow-Armstrong turns in his favor, then places that value alongside everything he does at the plate. This is not even the first time we've seen Crow-Armstrong look like this. In an earlier full season, his OPS plus sat at just 88, well below league average, the kind of number that normally keeps a player out of any value conversation. And yet advanced metrics still identified him as baseball's most valuable defender and base runner combined. That was not an outlier. It was an early glimpse of the kind of player he was becoming, someone whose greatest value consistently lives far beyond the batting line. Which brings the story back to this season, and to why the gap between the headlines and the leaderboard actually matters. Ohtani's case for MVP is built on numbers everyone can see immediately. A towering slugging percentage, a batting line that jumps off the page without any need for further explanation. Crow-Armstrong's case is built on a completely different kind of evidence, spread across defense, base running, and a batting line that is good without being historic, none of it concentrated in one single headline-ready number. Both are legitimate value cases, built from real production on the field. Only one of them requires you to actually understand what WAR is measuring, and why it weights those different categories the way it does, before the case even starts to make sense at all. That is exactly why this particular MVP conversation almost never gets the attention Ohtani's does. A towering home run total is instantly readable to any fan watching a highlight reel. No explanation required, no context needed beyond the number itself on the scoreboard. A player quietly leading the league in outs above average while also stealing bases at an elite clip requires someone to go looking for the number rather than having it delivered directly by the broadcast. And most fans simply never get that far into the leaderboard. The stat line on its own genuinely does not add up to what the leaderboard says. A .287 average and 19 home runs do not, by themselves, scream best player in baseball, and nobody would blame a casual fan for assuming someone else holds that title outright. But WAR was never built to measure only the parts of the game that make the highlight reels. It was built to capture the value hiding in the throws, the sprints, the extra 90 feet, and every run saved before it ever had to be scored. The stat line never actually lied. It simply wasn't telling the whole story. Because the most valuable player in baseball is not always the one with the loudest numbers. Sometimes, it is the one hiding value where most fans never think to look.